aliens live in bunkers. I've heard aliens live on the moon. I've heard aliens live on Mars. I heard aliens live on the moon of Saturn or the moon of Jupiter or some shit.
I've heard that aliens aren't even actually physical.
Yeah.
The interdimensional shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which actually, I kind of lean towards that. There's probably some truth to that.
That makes sense a little bit.
But don't you think there could be a possibility of there being both interdimensional and third-dimensional beings in our own universe still?
There's that movie, The Fourth Kind, which scared the fuck out of me when I was little. But now you watch it and it's like, okay, you can realize it's like obviously fake. But there is a place in Alaska called Nome, Alaska, and it has you know Alaska has the highest amount of missing people.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
It's because there's fucking snow everywhere. People get lost and buried in the snow.
Yeah, well that.
But there's a lot of places that are super snowy like that.
Dude,
not like that.
Nome, Alaska. One year in Nome, Alaska, bro, had more UFO sightings and like claims of abduction and shit like that in 1 year than everywhere else in the world combined. In Nome, Alaska. Had just so many fucking
I don't know,
reports.
man. My opinions on aliens change a lot. Like the Bob Lazar shit, I believed for a little bit. Now I don't fucking know, dude.
What is that?
Oh, what, Bob Lazar?
Yeah, he supposedly worked in Area 51.
Or no, he worked in a subsidiary of Area 51. Not exactly at it. There's a little thing off of it, 52B or something.
Yeah, but anyways, he was reverse engineering UFO technology. And he said they brought in recently graduated college majors who didn't have a big reputation, so they could bring them in and have them do this work, bro. And if they ever came out and said something, they wouldn't be as credible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he supposedly saw UFOs, and he explained it pretty good. And he came out with this element that was added to the table.
Oh shit,
yeah,
for real?
Yeah,
he said it before. But I also saw a video saying there was a magazine out during the time that had that material in there, or had that element in there.
Yeah, element 115. It was an element that he said that they discovered while he was trying to reverse engineer this stuff, and then later was, or they thought to be a true element, but later they found out true to be in the Hadron Collider that they can only see for a couple nanoseconds. It'll be in existence, and they'll just zap out, but they can only do it when they're doing the Hadron Collider.
Dude, I saw a crazy video about a dude who said he worked for the government as an engineer, or what is it called when you're building tunnels and shit?
I don't even fucking know.
The tunnel borer.
Anyways, he mining, he mined out the tunnels and shit, dude.
Yeah.
And
a mud honey.
They would always have what?
A mud honey.
What is it?
That's a tunnel boring. Oh, that's what they call a tunnel boring machine.
But anyways, he explained all the machines they used and shit, and they were making government tunnels, and they always kept pistols on them, and they always had FBI agents and military agents around them. And he says, this is what the guy said. I forget what the guy's name is. I would have to text my dad because he showed me him. But when they're going through with the tunnel system, bro, they broke through a wall, and there was supposedly 7-foot reptilian aliens in that motherfucker, bro. And he said, and this motherfucker, bro, he said, I didn't ask any, he was a southern dude, he said, I didn't ask any questions, I pulled out my pistol and I started shooting. Bro, he said he started shooting, and he dropped one of them, and then one of them shot him with a laser thing, and it put a circular beam on his chest, and he put his hand over it when he looked down like this. And then while he was explaining, he was like, I put my hand like this, and as you can see, and he puts his hand up, dude, and he's missing, you can see, his fingers are missing right here, bro. And
that's
it's,
crazy.
Melted. He was like, you can see, I fucking cost the burden or some shit. I don't even know what he said, but, and then he lifts his shirt up, and he has, this whole scar on him and shit.
That's wild.
Yeah, I don't know.
A legit laser beam that kind of just
now, that's
burned off his fingers and, burned his chest.
That's, the further out type shit, dude. That's the crazy shit.
Yeah.
Aliens living below.
Alright, so this girl sent me this thing. We be talking about fucking conspiracy theories and shit, and she sent me this fucking video, bro. It's this dude Alex Collier. I don't know. Here's the name if you want to spell it. And it's a whole fucking documentary. It's Andromedan life, and it's basically he fucking says that he was contacted. It's pretty cool. I don't necessarily believe it because like the shit he's saying, he doesn't have any fucking proof. But like he's like, I don't know, he gets pretty in depth with it and shit. And he fucking basically says that he was, not abducted, but contacted, and they brought him up. And basically what he was saying is that we are actually descendants of an alien species, right?
Yeah, I've heard this before too.
Yeah, and basically like, I don't know how to explain everything he was saying, but he goes into like real detail. And basically we were here for like a purpose. And he's saying that we actually, our ancestors or whatever, actually like came here as like a test of life, basically. Like almost like we purposely like devolved ourselves and put ourselves here. And he also said that humans are the most emotional creatures like in the fucking like whole spectrum. Like as far as aliens and shit like that, we're like the only ones that actually operate with emotions.
In terms of advanced life forms, we're probably one of the shortest lifespans too.
Yeah.
I mean, have you also heard about the theory of the where the aliens come down and enhanced our own evolution? Like where they did something to us when we were like in our Homo sapien forms, like back a couple million years ago, where they because the insane growth of the brain development between like it was like 200,000 years or something, that humans when they evolved was so big that like some theorized that like an alien could come down and possibly did something to
I kind of find that hard to believe, bro.
Us.
You know why? I just think it's like a multiplier in terms of intelligence, because humans were like flatlined and they were stupid fucking cavemen pretty much for a long ass time.
Yeah.
And then they got fire and they started cooking their fucking meals, which gave them more nutrients and shit and made them smarter. And then that, you know what I mean? That was like a multiplier to advance humans.
But see, here's the thing too, though, bro. Do you feel like, because I don't know, because fucking Alex Jones has said this shit before, and I'm about to get fucking ripped for even mentioning his name. But he said that,
he's a legend.
Yeah, he is a legend. But still, though, on fucking Joe Rogan's podcast, when he was talking about most of the technology we have was actually like given to us by actual like aliens, like off-world beings and shit like that.
Like what type of technology are we talking about?
Like, bro, just me in my mind, bro, and I've said this multiple times, and people might think I'm stupid for this, but just me in my mind, it's just hard for me to wrap my brain around the fact that, like, we didn't know shit. Like you were saying, there's a flat line, right? Like, we didn't fucking know anything, right? We were just fucking sharpening sticks.
Bro, it's like a multiplier.
Sharpening sticks and shit. But yeah, it's just hard for me to think that we could come from that far all the way to like fucking like touch screen phones and shit. Think
about it. Think about it. Like
just personally, I just don't think anybody would be able to come up with.
So I told you about the fire shit, and then you just got, bro. Like for example, printing paper was a big step, because then you could write down and keep track of every advancement of humans, and then you just add on to it. And as you spread out that information, and more people add on to it,
build onto it, and
it builds up and it builds up, and like I said, it's a multiplier because it was a big flat line, and then there's a certain time where our brains just got bigger and we became conscious, and then we just kept building, and it's like a multiplier. You get some sort of technology, and it advances humans so much. For example, like trains or some shit, or horses, or anything like a currency, banking.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Personally, I like what I believe. This is just what I think, because I mean, I feel like there is no fucking right answer to this shit, and everybody can just come with their own beliefs. What I think is, I feel like the angels and demons that are like talked about all the time, like because it says in the Bible, bro. Like there's the fucking. Well, who's the one dude, bro? He got taken up into the sky by, like, chariots of fire or some shit like that. It says that, right? I don't know. I just think, personally, like, aliens and angels and demons are, like, actually aliens. I feel like that's what it is. Because it's like, they talk about the off-world beings, interdimensional beings. I feel like, low-key, it could be the same thing.
It could be, I mean, it could be some type of shit like that. Are you talking about, like, in biblical stories, when they're talking about angels and demons, they're talking about aliens?
Yeah, low-key, like interdimensional beings. Because, I mean, remember we were saying earlier, aliens could be interdimensional beings. What if angels and demons are the aliens, but there's just good ones and bad ones? That's what I think, dude.
I mean, there's good and bad and everything,
Are you saying
karma,
when you die, you ascend into a different dimension?
Well, I believe that. I mean, you could ascend or descend. I believe in heaven and hell. Because, I mean, if not, bro, I think bad people need to suffer.
What do you think hell is?
I don't know if it's, like, the fucking term or if, like... I don't know, because, like, think about it this way, right? Like, we exist on 3 dimensions, right? This is just me personally, right? And I went through, like, a fucking phase where every time I went to sleep at night, I would dream vividly, and I was, like, studying a bunch of shit where people were saying like when you die, it's basically like a dream forever, right? Because when you go to sleep, DMT, like, well, you know what I'm saying? It can, like,
your body naturally produces DMT.
Yeah, so, and you dream, right? But you're actually, like, it's a gateway. That's what a lot of people think. So I was thinking of it in that
So you're
sense.
accessing another dimension when you're dreaming?
Yeah, so when I first stopped smoking weed, bro, I was having, like, the most vivid dreams ever, bro.
They say that's because whenever you're smoking weed and you fall asleep on that, you skip your REM cycle and you go straight into deep slumber.
Yeah.
So you're not getting all that sleep, and then when you're finally you stop doing that and your body readjusts, all that REM cycle of sleep that you miss hits you at once.
Yeah.
So you're getting slapped with all that, like, backed up.
Yeah, well, anyways, I was thinking of it in that way, and I was like, alright, so I was thinking whenever I'm awake, I'm in 3 dimensions. Mm-hmm. I go to sleep and I dream, I'm in the 4th dimension. That's what I was thinking, right? I just, you know what I'm saying, mentally, I just went into the 4th dimension. So, like, my goal every night was to try to break through to the next dimension, like get higher and higher, and this is just how it was in my mind, is that it would always be in like a test of like the 7 deadly sins, like it would be like or you know, or like virtues and shit like that, like it'd be like one was like a test in patience, because I'm a super impatient person, you know what I'm saying, like I hate waiting for shit, and that's a bad thing to have, you know what I'm saying, you need patience with certain things, and so it was like a test of patience, bro, and it was like these fucking I woke up on this like beach, and it was like this boat, and like across it there was like this fucking temple and shit, and then there was like this force field, and there's like these people guarding it, right? And I was just like, the whole time I was like, I gotta take this slow, I can't get noticed, right? So like I get in the boat and I like push off, bro, and I just lay down in it. And I'm in there, bro. I'm in my dream, bro. I am in there for hours, bro. Like, I'm experiencing you know how most of the time your dreams, like, it'll be like, you wake up, like, damn, so much happened, but it was quick. Yeah. Like, I was there 4 hours whenever I was doing this shit.
Like, you're actually there for the entirety of your sleep. Yeah.
And I was, like, sitting there, bro, and I waited, and I brushed up against the other side. And then I got out, and I'm, like, looking, bro, and there's, like, 3 different paths. Like, one path is super quick, but there's, like, alligators on it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, I might be able to run through that. Like, I need, you know what I'm saying? It was, like, urgent. I need to get through there. But then I'm like, fuck, the alligators are there. Then there's a second path, and I was like, all right, well, I could kind of run through that one. It's somewhat quick. And then there's, like, a couple alligators on that one. Not as much as the other one, and it's a little bit longer. But then I look, and there's a third path, and it's completely clear, but it's super long, and it wraps all the way around. Mm-hmm. And the guards are, like, constantly going up to it. And I was like, I got to take this one, right? And I'm slowly creeping up. Like, I'm just creeping up, bro. Just for a long ass time. When I finally get up, I see the force field. I see what they're guarding, bro. It's just a force field, right? Like, I don't know, almost like a aura, bro. And it's like just a wall of it. And like I seen my opening, bro, and I run through, and they all notice me, and they go to start shooting stuff, and I get through the force field, and it's just like I knew what to do, and it was so weird, bro. I sit down, and I cross my arms over my chest like a mummy, bro, and I lay back, and I went into the 5th dimension. Oh, and I fucking like woke up, bro, and it was a whole nother test. And then this test was lust, bro. And it was like this girl like coming on to me. I kept trying to deny her, you know what I'm saying? I fucking broke down.
Stop the cap. We know you didn't try to deny her.
No, I did.
Horny man.
Because I knew I was in a test, bro. But it got harder though, because for a second I was in another dream. I like forgot what I was doing, but then I started to remember. But then I was like, yeah, fuck it, dude. And then I went in there.
Look at them cheeks.
Yeah, and then I fucked her, bro. And as soon as I fucked her, bro, I like boom, got kicked out to where I was before, woke up like on the fucking temple, bro, in the fucking force field.
So you failed the
boom, woke up again, and I was in the real world, and I was like, fuck. And I was like, but like every night, bro, that's the farthest I've been though, was like, you know, I'm putting it in quotation marks, but the 5th
your
dimension.
personal experience, yeah.
Yeah.
Something I wanted to kind of go back on and kind of relates to what Noah touched up on with, like, you know, printing press and kind of what both you said about how you kind of view how, like, the human intelligence and the technology. I want to say, like, how when Noah brought up the printing press, it thinks, you know, with all the hundreds of different inventions, the hundreds of different minds, and millions and billions of people out there that could possibly invent different things, you know, with all that being collected and education and more knowledge being stored and brought up.
Yeah.
In my viewpoint, I would like to say it's like my viewpoint is probably the opposite of yours. I would say I do think that humans would be able to come to this level, depending on, like, you know, because there's so many human minds at this point.
Yeah.
There's what 7.8. There's almost 8 billion of us. You know, with all those people and all those different minds, you know, we're kind of getting smarter and smarter with how we store our technology.
I don't know about now if we're getting smarter and smarter.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
The last 200 years, we were peaking.
But if you just kind of think about
to the fucking moon.
That with all those hundreds and hundreds of different inventions over the years slowly building up, like, eventually we get to a point where, like, you know, all these bigger developments, all these bigger inventions, and then you start combining those and start coming up there together with other people. People are becoming more